That'd be all right.
Just keep
You'll
going
do the
on.
rotary one.
Yeah.
Told you I was afraid first. Otherwise, I start doing the Kiwanis pledge.
Yeah, better.
That'd be all right.
Could you
Huh?
start that way?
In Miami.
Yeah.
Need a motion to approve
How are
the
you?
minutes of the last regular council meeting, which was 3/12/18.
I'll make that motion. Go vote on it.
We have a motion by Mr. Hall and we have a second by Mr. Neal. Call the roll, please.
Canada.
Yes.
Hall.
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
McGuire. Neal.
Yes.
Short.
Yes.
And Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you.
We probably have no citizens request. First item on the agenda, mayor's report. Motion to accept amended notice of meeting dates for the city council error due to Veterans Day. What that is, we actually have a tallied sheet that goes out to all the news media, notified people that, of the agendas and stuff like that. We need to amend that and make sure we got it right.
I'll say that.
Call the roll, please.
Canada.
Yes.
Hall.
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
McGuire. Neal.
Yes.
Short.
Yes.
And Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you.
We do need an announcement of the spring cleanup by Bulldog for the weeks of May the 7th and then the week of May the 14th. There will be flyers put out. We will have something listed in the newspaper. We just want to make sure we had plenty of time to get it out there. Next item, motion to accept road closure for the Superman celebration beginning at 5 p.m. on Wednesday, June the 6th, and remain closed through 7 p.m. Sunday, June the 10th. The streets included are Market Street from Superman statue through the alley between 8th and 9th Street, on 7th Street blocking from the parking lot drive of the fire station to the backside of Hillebrand's Automotive, on 8th Street from the backside of the fire station area to the drive-through at the old Bantera Bank, on 6th Street from the driveway of the detention center to drive-through of Allegiance Bank.
I'll make a motion.
It's a good thing, I know. Because we just keep expanding, you know, and that is a good thing. You know, that shows at least we're doing something right. You know, we're filling up all the space and go from there. There will be probably something coming back to you later on the riverfront. We've not been notified yet of anything pertaining to the carnival, but I'm sure they will get that out. So we do have a motion by Mr. Lewis. We do have a second by Mr. Neal. Call the roll, please.
Canada.
Yes.
Hall.
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
McGuire.
Yes.
Neal.
Yes.
Short.
Yes.
And Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you.
And everything here is just, like I said, just a part of the job. It's well done. The many volunteers and the people that take their valuable time to make sure that each and every one of our thing, and we will start. We have a spring fling thing that's coming up here in the next.
Make that ugly.
Yeah, and the ladies did tell me today that they have more of those vendors and stuff like that. They've got a lot more than they had last year and have quite a few new ones, which is another good thing. So I think that's all. I've got something when Harry comes up we'll mention, but corporate counsel, you have anything in open session, Mr. Abel?
One thing I want to mention, I laid this in front of you, I just got this today. The IMEA, IMUA, UA is the Utility Association, EA is where we purchase our electric through. They have combined, and they have one annual conference now instead of separate annual conferences in Springfield. is a really good program. It's free. They actually provide virtually all the meals we have while we're there too. The only thing we have to pay for is our hotel rooms. Tony and I have been several times to the UA. In fact, last year's the first time we hadn't gone in several years. EA, I've gone every year. The mayor's gone some years. We've even had council people go. But they have on Friday, June the 1st, they'll have two sets of programs. They'll have a set of programs for policymakers, and so for that, they encourage us to bring aldermen or mayors. They'll also have a set for utility workers too. So they encourage us to bring some of our supervisors and key people to that. But right now, the reservations aren't open. They'll open probably in, probably 2 or 3 weeks. But if you think you might be interested, go ahead and mark that on your calendar.
It is a Thursday and a Friday, and usually come back on
Friday afternoon.
Friday afternoon, or we have stayed through Saturday morning a couple of times.
Well, that's when it was.
That was when it was the old way. But
That was the
now
old
we come back on Friday.
Yeah.
So we just need to know. We just think about it. If it's something you choose to, just let us know. Committee reports. Park and Rec, Mr. Taylor, sir. Just seemed like we were just doing that just a minute ago. didn't we?
Deja vu.
Parks and Recreation Committee had a meeting this evening and discussed a couple of items, and among the discussion, we were making a motion to accept and extending the mooring contract for 2018 to Mr. Summer. Sorry?
I'll second.
Okay.
We have a motion by Mr. Taylor and a second by Mr. Canada. Call the roll, please.
Canada.
Yes.
Paul.
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
McGuire. Neal.
Yes.
Short.
Yes.
And Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you.
And also, I'd like to make a motion to accept advertising, accepting applications for lifeguards and staff at the Metropolis Swimming Pool from April 2nd through April the 13th, 2018.
I'll second.
Motion made by Mr. Taylor, second by Mr. Lewis. Call the roll, please.
Canada.
Yes.
Paul.
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
McGuire. Neal.
Yes.
Short.
Yes.
And Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you.
Chris, you have anything you want to add to that committee?
That's all.
It will be here very shortly, and it is going to start growing. You know, the sun is going to shine. You know, it always has, and I believe it will. And when it does, the grass is going to start growing. All the sports things for the many young people that Chris's department supplies for our community, not only our city, but our county. You know, it's not only in the city of Metropolis, it's Massac County included in it. I think I think the soccer program is as big, if not bigger, than it was last year, which is a tremendous thing for the young people and things like that. The baseball programs and stuff like that will be starting here very shortly. And it seems like when it starts, it just all starts at one time, and it's every night for people like Mr. Lewis that's got young children that actually in that. I mean, it's something going on every night in the community of Metropolis. Don't know yet about the football program and stuff like that. Of course, that's a fall type thing. But anyway, the very good thing about we got football goals sitting up there now. They're not hurting a thing. They don't need anything they're paid for. And we were fortunate enough that of our good neighbors from Lafarge Corporation actually donated rock, a lot of rock, and we were able to rock that football parking lot there. If they never have a football game there, it is much needed parking for the soccer association. So if it ever comes where they're all going to be playing at the same time, we got a problem out there.
Yeah.
But anyway, and like I said, we do have some more rock coming from Lafarge as soon as the weather straightens up a little bit where they can start hauling again. So we'll recap what we've got there. But we do wanna send a thank you out to Lafarge for, all the rock that they actually, brought to the city of Metropolis. It is well needed and we appreciate it. Department heads. Wait, let's do this water line streets
Yeah,
since we already got that.
Water Line Street Committee had a meeting prior to this one. Now that meeting, I'd like to make a motion to advertise and accept applications for temporary seasonal public works laborers from March 27th through April 6th.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Hall, second by Mr. McGuire. Call the roll, please.
Canada.
Yes.
Excuse me, Hall,
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
McGuire.
Yes.
Neal.
Yes.
Short.
Yes.
And Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you.
Also, I'll make a motion to accept repairs to the stoplight of Fifth and Ferry Street in the estimated amount of $6,000 from FW, with 50% being reimbursed by the IDOT.
I'll second.
Motion made by Mr. Hall, second by Mr. Lewis. Call the roll, please.
Canada.
Yes.
Hall,
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
McGuire.
Yes.
Neal.
Yes.
Short.
Yes.
And Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's all from Water Line Street.
Thank you, Mr. Hall. Department heads. Mr. Massey, sir.
There's Ken brought up to me a program or a phone number that he has that, it's like a status information hotline. And, sort of like the Nixle thing until that gets put up, but this could also be a number that the public could call into. It won't cost us anything. And we can do updates and informational type stuff on that. It'd be password protected, so some knucklehead just couldn't get in there and put some goofy message on there, but,
Yeah, it's an augment to the Nextel system. I talked with Keith about it, and he said the company that has that system says that not many people will call for additional information, but if only a few percent of thousands of people that are potentially on that system call the police dispatcher, they're gonna get swamped with calls. It could be 50 or 60 calls within a few minutes. And like Harry pointed out, this won't cost the city anything other than the time to maintain it. It's got room for 10 different messages, and the menu system you can control, it says press 1 for information on Harris, press 2 for the 12th Street closing, that kind of thing. And it's really easy to maintain and set up and do. And we like it. So,
I'd like to, is this something that we need to wait on until we get the new phone system in?
no, it runs independent of your phone system. It's on my server. And
it's a
that server,
524 number.
it doesn't come to one of your servers, it's on my server. And that server can take potentially hundreds of calls at the same time. And won't tie up any of the lines into the police department or the city hall or anything.
What you're saying is, Mr. Novak, is that instead of, us calling 2310 and tying up the police line, just for information, we call this other number?
Yeah, and the main announcement number will repeat the phone number that they just called. They call the dispatcher at the police department, they can transfer the call to this number,
Okay.
and the messages can be as long as you want. Well, we won't let Rick record him because he talks so much. The message can be pretty much as long as you want.
But the dispatcher itself, though, if they do call the police department, it can transfer and that'll free up the line to the
Yep.
police station?
Yep, exactly. And then over time, the people that like to call and find out what's going on will learn to call that number directly.
Could you give us some more information for another, meeting of the, police or something else, so we can vote on this next time? Or do you wanna do it now?
Well, it's ready to go now.
Sir?
I said it's ready to go now. We got a little training of whoever's gonna maintain it, probably the police
That's what I was
dispatcher.
wondering, I mean, you know, we don't have no particulars.
There's no money involved in the cities.
Yeah, it doesn't cost anything.
It's something that you're gonna take care of it, Harry?
Yeah, I mean, I can take care of it, Ken can take care of it. It's sort of like our message board sign, it's just another tool in the toolbox where anything that we know that's going on, like the Superman Festival celebration, we can tell them the carnival's gonna be held, you know, these are the hours, and it's gonna be held at the riverfront by the lighthouse, or 12th Street project's gonna be starting, avoid it, you know, spring break starts, watch out for the kids.
There's no contracts or anything like that.
No.
I'm not against anything, it makes it easier for the people that work for us and the, community to make sure that they're, if it doesn't work, we don't like it, we just pull the plug.
All right, I make a motion, we go with that system with, Commissioner Massey in charge.
But we don't have it on here for a motion or anything, we can just authorize them to go ahead and do it, there's no cost involved.
Want the phone number?
Yeah,
It's a 618 number, 524-2129.
2129, now how are we gonna get this word out?
To the people.
Well,
Well,
hopefully it'll be in the paper.
And, it'll be on our Facebook page, or it'll be on both the fire department and the police department's Facebook page.
And we'll pick it up and we'll.
Put it on
the
the-
share it
Right.
everywhere.
Right.
And what
then
is this going to
and
be
we have that
called?
neighbor, we got it.
Pardon me?
What is this going to be called? What's this
I call
Side.
the status information hotline.
information
Hotline.
hotline?
Yeah.
Oh. Hotline,
You know,
all right.
some information with a little book or something in the kiosk up there would be
Yeah.
helpful too.
Yes, it would.
Put a
Harry,
little sign or something up there.
like if someone calls the police department to see if the power's out, I know people do that.
Yeah, see, that can take us, it might take us a few minutes to get the status hotline up.
But
The police department's still gonna get that, but we'll tell them, for instance, updates and stuff will be put on that, you know, instead of calling us back every hour asking if we know.
okay,
Okay. If we can get them trained, it will free up the dispatcher in emergency situations a lot.
Right.
It'll free up.
You know,
But
like
it's,
siren testing, stuff
yeah.
like that, you know, I mean, the possibility, and it's not gonna replace what Chad's project is, as a matter of fact, it's gonna supplement it, cause we can use that to say, to piggyback on it, you know, updates would be put on the status hotline.
Well, when the power goes off, I mean, if you've ever been to the police station, you know
Yeah.
what it is there. My office, every line's buzzing, and Jan's office is the same way. If it took just a third of those calls away, it's going to it's gonna be better, so. All right. Have at it.
Thank you. Of course, you all heard about Sergeant Manley.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you to,
Officer Austin, if you hadn't heard about it, we had a house fire on Second Street, last weekend. Carl happened to be by Big John, so it was on Second Street, so he was the first car there. Initially, the call came out for the fire that, everyone was out. As Carl was turning on the Second Street, we got an update that the wife was still inside the house. When he pulled up, the fire department still hadn't arrived, and the husband was obviously frantic and said that, the wife is in the living room. He believes he could see her through the window before the smoke covered everything up. So Carl went up to the window, thought he saw a hand, so he went back to the squad, grabbed one of the fire extinguishers, broke the window out, and reached in, found her hand. By that time, Dan Austin arrived. She was burning up. By the time they pulled her out, I mean, it's kind of gross, but the skin was peeling off her arms as they were pulling her out the window, and she was gasping for breath, and her lungs and nose and all the stuff was full of smoke. They did a great job, and then the fire department got there, and the ambulance people got there, and she's been flown to Vanderbilt. She's had, I believe, 3 surgeries now. I really can't talk about HIPAA, but she's had 3 surgeries, and she's alive, and she's talking, and she's got a long road ahead, but she's alive. So the big concern is infection now because of the burns.
Was Don there too, was Officer Helm there?
Yeah, he got there also.
I
He
thought
was
so,
the third person.
he was telling me about some of it
Yeah.
too today, that's why I want.
Yeah, it was Manley and Austin that did the actual rescue, and then, Helm got there and helped with the first aid.
Yeah.
'Cause
We did have
the ambulance was delayed a little bit for some reason, I'm not sure the whole thing on that, but.
we don't want, you know,
I've submitted them obviously for awards.
there was another instance, the same week, not at liberty to talk about some things and stuff like that. But it was it wasn't the police department, it was actually the, first responders. That was actually, a tremendous help, in a rescue. So, we do wanna thank our trained personnel. You know, there's not hardly a day or a week goes by, I guarantee you there's not a week goes by that somebody from the police department, the fire department, even public works, And in the summertime, it's the same way in Chris's, pool down there. There's not a day goes by that there's maybe not a, somebody that's at the stage of a loss of life. But there's, anytime you've got, 300 children running around, you're always taking every day, that something is going to happen that's not real good. So, we wanna thank our,
Just 2 days ago, you guys don't know about this one yet either. 2 days ago, guy slit his wrist, was on the front porch, he had a knife in his hand. Sergeant Laird, Officer Corey and Hamilton were on the scene. Hamilton was trying to negotiate cigarettes to put the knife down. Thought it was working. Sergeant Laird had snuck around the house, so he was able to come up behind him on the porch. And all of a sudden the guy said, "That's it, I'm gonna plunge this knife into my throat." And as he stood up, Bruce hit him with the taser, knocked him out, and we got him into the mental health, so.
it's a good thing.
It's been busy.
I'm starting in the back. Stoney, do you have anything for the good of the cause?
Not after that.
Ms. Brisk?
I was just gonna say, if you have any questions from your constituents, the merry-go-round for Washington Park is in the process of being made. This is the company that makes them. And they're making it right now. As soon as it's ready, they'll ship it this way and we'll get it installed. And the fence across from Jill and Brandon's house on 19th Street is being repaired right now. So the women in that area will be happy. But it's kind of suffered some fallen tree limbs through the years, and so it's going to be fixed by Jones Fence out of Paducah. They're the ones that originally installed it, and they were the best price on repairs. So those two things are being handled right now.
Old business. New business. Miscellaneous reports. Financial reports, payment of salaries, payroll, and contract bills.
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Hall,
I'll second.
Mr. Lewis. Call the roll, please.
Canada.
Yes.
Hall.
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
McGuire.
Yes.
Neal.
Yes.
Short.
Yes.
And Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you.
Payment of miscellaneous bills.
I'll make that motion also.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Hall, second by Mr. Neal. Call the roll, please.
Canada.
Yes.
Hall.
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
McGuire.
Yes.
Neal.
Yes.
Short.
Yes.
And Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you.
We do have this Wednesday at, 10:30. We are having our quarterly,
Communication.
citywide communication meeting for all of our employees and everything like that. We do invite each and every alderman. Feel free to come by if you choose to. Doesn't have to if you don't want to. Lunch, we will have lunch. We will have a slide presentation and lots of good information. So feel free to come by on Wednesday. It'll last till about 12-ish, someplace around there, at the community center. There was a thing tomorrow night that was for a tax seminar, something with Miss Natalie Phelps, was canceled. It will not be there. It was on Wednesday night, not Tuesday night, but Wednesday night. So she did call today and cancel that. So we do have the need for an executive session. Did you ever decide?
Yeah, personnel, collective bargaining, and sale, lease, or exchange of real estate.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Canada.
Yes.
Hall.
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
McGuire.
Yes.
Neal.
Yes.
Short.
Yes.
And Taylor.
Yes.